Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Nick Griffith of Android, and today we are doing another smartphone camera comparison with the OnePlus 7 Pro and the iPhone 11 Pro. Now, these two devices have dramatically different camera hardware, and starting with the OnePlus 7 Pro, you get a 48 megapixel camera on the back with optical image stabilization, and then a second 8 megapixel telephoto lens with a 3x zoom, and then finally a 16 megapixel sensor with a 13 millimeter ultra wide angle lens. Now, the main sensor here can record 4K video at 60 frames per second. And then up front, you get a 16 megapixel pop-up selfie camera that can record 1080p video at 30 frames per second. On the iPhone side, you actually get a total of 4 12 megapixel sensors, 3 on the back and 1 on the front. The main one features a 26mm lens with optical image stabilization. The second one has a 2x zoom at 52mm with optical image stabilization as well. And then finally, a 13mm ultra-wide lens. And the 12 megapixel camera up front features an f2.2 lens for some great selfies. As far as video recording goes, all of these cameras can record 4K video at 60 frames per second. Now that we've seen the hardware of these two devices, let's jump in to see how these two devices actually compare when taking photos side by side. On both of these devices, you're going to be getting pretty good video at 4K 60 frames per second. Unfortunately for the OnePlus 7 Pro, you can zoom into the 3x zoom lens to record video, as you can see, and then zoom in on the iPhone 11 Pro as well. But the OnePlus 7 device does not allow you to switch over to the ultra-wide angle lens, which honestly we find a little bit more useful than having that zoom lens to record video. Recording video with the front-facing cameras on both of these devices is pretty standard affair. They're both using electronic image stabilization to keep that video steady as much as possible. But the only difference here, well, a big difference here, is that the iPhone 11 Pro can record 4K at 60 frames per second for front-facing video, while the OnePlus 7 Pro only records 1080p video. And you can really see the difference in quality here, especially when it comes to low light situations, which we'll see a little bit later. Here we are recording video with the iPhone 11 Pro and the OnePlus 7 Pro at night while walking down the street to give you guys an idea of what the optical image stabilization and the electronic image stabilization can do to keep these video streams steady, and also what the low light capabilities are from these sensors. And then again, flipping the cameras around so you see what the front-facing cameras can do with these two devices. Again, the OnePlus 7 Pro has a great disadvantage here, only having recording at 1080p, while the 11 Pro can record 4K video at 60 frames per second, which in a low-light situation like this is pretty impressive. And that's going to do it between the camera comparison between the iPhone 11 Pro used to record right now and the OnePlus 7 Pro. Now, the OnePlus device is probably one of the most exciting devices of 2019, mainly due to its price and its spec sheet, but of course its camera really doesn't compare to what the iPhone 11 Pro can put out. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and if you think the battle between these two was actually pretty close. I just dropped the phone. So that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and